so long?
Yeah, probably a bit of everything. I mean, it's horrifying. Obviously, I'm sure everybody read the report and have read all the reporting that's been going on the last year. I mean, it's even when you know it, it's just horrifying over and over to read. It's been difficult for the players. Some of those players play in those clubs, have been coached by those coaches, likely have been abused in one form or another by some of those coaches or in some of those environments or different environments, youth environments, whatever it may be. It can definitely be re-triggering or re-traumatizing, and just to have to, deal with that on such a incredible occasion to be here at Wembley and be able to, participate in this game, which is so exciting. I mean, the juxtaposition is just kind of ridiculous. I mean, I think Becky said it yesterday. We're, angry and exhausted and together and unified. So it's kind of all of it. It's nice to be here together as a team. I feel like it's really powerful for us all to be together as a national team and be able to speak, on behalf of all of this. Whenever Becky speaks or I speak or anybody speaks, it's, on behalf of everybody here. So it has been very difficult. I can't even imagine for, the players most affected or just the names that we know and probably a lot of the names that we don't know. So just thinking about them and trying to keep together as a group. Vlatko's been amazing and just giving us the space and just taking the time to acknowledge what we're going through and understanding that it's not just something that you acknowledge and move on from, giving space for people if they need to take time or take practices or take meetings or whatever. In a way, I mean, it's really sad to say, but in a way, I think we're used to having to deal with one thing or another. It seems to bring us closer and, definitely unify the team. And it's just one of those sort of intimate environments that we're in that we're used to taking on a lot and playing in these kind of conditions. And I think being able to be on the field, to have, not just a head coach, but an entire staff that, supports us fully on and off the field, where we can step on the field and do our job, is something that I think is a safe haven for all of us, and we're really looking forward to. But yeah, it's been, really difficult, I think, for everyone, probably in, the entire landscape of women's sports. Nobody ever wants to see anything like this, but hopefully this can be, a moment in time that you say none of this ever happens again.
Negative behavior are held properly responsible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think one of the main things is just having some kind of policy in place. I mean, if there's absolutely nothing in place, there's nothing to hold anybody accountable to. It's difficult to hold people accountable even when there is something in place. But I think that so whether it's from FIFA level or from a confederations level, at least having those policies in place or having hotlines that people can report to or reporting systems that have some teeth in them that are actually real and not just, going to be kind of thrown to the wayside, I think is really important. I think the education piece is also really important for, obviously for, coaches and staff, but I think for players as well. I think something that really struck me from the Yates investigation was just how many Chicago players didn't even realize that they were being abused or manipulated, the emotional abuse that was happening. And that's, you can look at it now and say, well, how do you not know that? He's calling you all these names or whatever, but like, that's how it happens. You don't know that it's happening. So being aware of those signs and what language is appropriate, what language is inappropriate. And then if something is happening, having, a reporting system that actually has teeth in it that you can trust that is going to protect the players, I think is really important. Obviously that's a monumental task, and in a lot of these federations that maybe aren't funded very well or only get together a couple times a year, I know that can be difficult, but I think, from FIFA's standpoint, as the stewards of the game, I think that they have a responsibility to do everything in their power to ensure that every player is in a safe environment when they want to play.